Hey, we're on to week 9 in the National Football League. 4 teams on byes, including the Bucs and Eagles. And a big one on CBS, 4:25 Eastern Time. It's the Kansas City Chiefs going on the road to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Oh, Petey Pie is back on top.
I'm back.
Kyle pulled even for a week, but Pete comes through with a 9-5 week. Now 9 games over 500, Peter.
I'm one of those guys that needs a little motivation to play better and play harder. No, I don't. I play hard every week. I just stink some weeks.
It was a sneaky week for Kyle last week and for our best bets. Nobody. I mean, we know the producers were never going to hit, but nobody hit their best bets.
What a terrible week.
And mine was awful, by the way. I had no chance in mine. I had the Saints.
Ugh, God.
All
right.
That was
Kyle Long, Pete Prisco, Chris Hassel with you.
What was yours?
Steelers. I had the Steelers plus 3.5.
So you were floundering.
It was looking good for a while.
So on Sunday night he thought, oh, everybody else lost theirs already, and I still got mine going.
Well, let's play a little trust fall game here. It's the Ravens and the Dolphins to start off the week. Thursday night, the line suggests, just like last week at this time, that Lamar Jackson's going to play. The line's 7.5. But, I mean, after what happened last week, what are you guys going to believe?
You got to think it's going to be the Ravens, particularly if it's Lamar Jackson, and I do think it's going to be Lamar Jackson. I think he could have played this past game, but they were confident enough, not only in their defense, but that running game to have Snoop Huntley out there playing quarterback, and they got it done. And you have to think with 1 win in the bank and looking for 2 in a row, Lamar returns, and they beat and they cover this line against the Dolphins.
Is he limited this week? Or not limited, or is he practicing, or is he just taking scout team? I mean, look, I think he's playing this week. He's from here. You know he wants to play. He's going to do everything in his power to play. The question I have is, when he does play, is he the same? You know, when you pull a hamstring, that could go again at any moment. And you're a little less reluctant to open it up, aren't you, when you tear a hamstring?
100%. You have to think it's built into their offense. There's going to be dead stops in their offense to say, we do what Lamar, moving around a little bit, changing the launch point. And for those of you at home, you see a quarterback set up to throw behind, let's say, the right tackle or the left tackle. You can move that a little bit with the play action, but you're not going to be able to see Lamar extending passing plays all the way to the sideline and having to rely on that get-out-of-dodge speed that we've seen. To Pete's point, hamstrings, they come and go really quickly. Just when you think you're okay, they sneak up and get you.
By the way, give Miami credit last week. They went out on the road and played a good game across the board. I mean, they limited the run game. They limited what they did with Kirk Cousins throwing the football, and they had a good offensive game plan on the road, playing for nothing against a team that's technically in the playoff chase. And I give Mike McDaniel a lot of credit. I've criticized him a great deal here, but I give him a lot of credit for the way he got that team to play. They did. Here's the other thing. The Falcons had 9 rushes.
I was about to ask you about
Bijan
that.
Robinson, it drove me up a wall.
What are we doing?
What are you doing, right? Just turn it. What are the Ravens going to do this week? They're going to turn and hand it to the big fella 25 times. Miami went into that game averaging 5 yards per rush against. You just turn and hand the ball off. That's what the Ravens are going to do. They'll cover the number.
Well, knowing that, do you maybe keep Lamar Jackson out another week and a half and try to win it with Snoop?
I think if he's healthy enough and he wants to play, you play him. That's what I think you do. And you know he's going to want to play because he is from down here. So I think he plays.
Both on the Ravens, minus 7.5.
Show me something. Roquan flying around last week.
Teams,
need that more.
He finally played.
Kyle Hamilton, that's why you pay him the money.
Right.
Ravens, by the way, minus money favorites to win the division now after picking up just their 2nd win of the season. Still a couple games behind Pittsburgh in that division. That's the Thursday nighter to kick off Week 9 in the NFL. Hey, Kyle.
There's the top of your head to this week. We got the top.
Go,
Kyle, why do they
Cut
call
off.
it football? Did you ever figure that out, why they call it football?
Well, Bill Cowher, coach, the legend, he said it's because you want to end drives with a PAT, and you start the drive with
Always,
a
yeah. Kirk Ferentz will tell you, end every drive with a kick.
So Bill Cowher and
especially a
Kirk
punt. No,
Ferentz,
I'm just kidding.
buddies, they're on a group chat together.
And every drive with a kick never worked for me.
You don't like that?
You want a punt?
Well, you kick an extra point.
You want a punt?
No.
Okay. Then you don't want to end
want a
every
punt.
kick.
Speaking of not punting,
It's the Colts set a record to start this season, and they are favorites on the road this week against the Steelers. We'll pick that in every game at 1 Eastern time on CBS next. Time to check out the 1 p.m. slate this Sunday on CBS.
Ooh, that was a long one.
It was your big boy.
English on it.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. We got 5 games this week in our early window on CBS. It's a little better week. Not as many teams on buys. You don't have the overseas game. You don't have the 2 Monday night games. So maybe this Sunday slate's gonna come back for us this week. We need it back. Let's go, baby. Let's start with the Colts. Number 1 seed in the AFC. Only 1 loss. 3-point favorites in Pittsburgh against the Steelers.
You go first.
Look, I ate paper because of the Colts, remember, with hot sauce, and I'm a believer.
Yeah, now they get to play this defense.
And that's like one of the greatest mismatches of the week. Yeah, and they got to be licking their chops getting ready to play this defense. One thing we talked great length about the offensive line of the Colts. If you go back and watch that tape, there are some giant holes. Somebody put one out on Twitter the other day. They said, so an average person couldn't get a couple yards in the NFL. Yeah. Did you see that?
100%.
Okay, that hole, you could get a couple yards in the NFL. It's amazing how well that offensive line's playing. The Steelers don't rush the passer very well either. I think Steichen's calling great games. Jonathan Taylor is the MVP right now, by the way. I know he won't win it because quarterbacks win that award, but he would be the MVP.
Patrick Mahomes Award.
Yeah, he would be the MVP right now. I think the Colts go in there and put a number on the Steelers' defense. The Steelers' defense showed me nothing the last couple weeks.
I'll rephrase it. Jonathan Taylor should win the Heisman, the NFL Heisman, whatever that is, the most dominant performance of the season. I understand that the MVP is a coach's award. In this game, I will be picking the Colts to cover. I am so disappointed in the Pittsburgh Steelers because I was watching them play the Packers, Aaron Rodgers reunion game, and I'm on Twitter talking my stuff. I might have had a nice cold adult diet Miller and fired off a couple supportive tweets for Mr. Rodgers. It's going to be a special night, blah, 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 and I hope he does bad things to the Packers. People forget that I'm a Bear, right? I'm supposed to hate the Packers, and I still do. I believed in the Steelers up until this past week. I thought the defense was going to figure it out. I thought the offense could show some more explosion. Obviously, some plays left on the table. The Colts don't leave anything on the table. The Colts are explosive in the run game. They're explosive in the passing game. Tyler Warren's been unbelievable. Jonathan Taylor, to your point, is otherworldly. Give me the Colts. Doesn't have to be close. Indianapolis.
After doing a Lambeau Leap, you're rooting against the Packers?
Well, you know what? This guy, Tucker Kraft, is about
a real deal.
He is fun to watch.
So
that's the reason I was saying nice things about the Packers in like week 1. And you know what? That's about the only thing I can say nice.
Pete hasn't been saying very nice things about T.J. Watt. What's going on there?
Well, I think T.J. Watt is a guy that was so dominant for so long at the top of our game, and when you try to compare him to what his heyday was, it's going to be really tough. And you're looking at my earpiece because it's going to fall out, and you know I'm going to touch it. You know I'm going to touch it. It's unfair to guys like T.J. Watt to try to compare production from previous years with now, because let's face it, he's not going to be the version of T.J. Watt that we all fell in love with so much as a pass rusher.
So the second person in that seat to say he's washed up.
I'm not saying he's washed up. I'm just saying.
Leger, he's in. Washed up.
Julius Peppers at 38 years old wasn't Julius Peppers at 24
he's not the
years
same.
old.
No, T.J. Watt's not. He hasn't been the same, particularly the last couple of weeks.
All right.
But they have really good players up front to go along with him. I just wish that the slack would be picked up. I wish that the expensive back end of that defense would pick up.
It's the money he's making, he has to pick it up.
Not just him. It's the most expensive defense in football.
Right. By the way, this game is going to get loose because there's an over pick on that as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. An over from Pete. There's, I think, 3 games with a total of 50 or more this week, so it could get really loosey-goosey this week for Pete. From the 1 seed in the AFC, the Colts, to the 2 seed in the AFC right now, the New England Patriots at home against the Falcons, laying 5.5, Peter.
Well, what we saw from the Falcons last week was just awful across the board. The quarterback play was terrible. Kirk Cousins wasn't very good. He steps in, hey, Kirk Cousins, maybe somebody wants him. I think he might have played himself out of that last week. The running game, they didn't run the ball. They didn't give the ball to Bijan Robinson. 9 carries. 9.
That's scary.
Against a defense that went in average, giving up 5 yards per rush. Terrible plan by them. Defense didn't play well. I think they respond here. They're not going to win the game because I'm a big believer in the New England Patriots. I love coach-quarterback combinations. They have it. Mike Vrabel's a great coach. He motivates his team. They play hard for him. And the quarterback, is growing up before our eyes. He's on the way to being a star of stars playing quarterback in the National Football League, Drake May. And so I love that combination. I just think the Falcons need this game in the worst way to kind of respond for that, what they did last week. I think Bijan Robinson will run the ball. They'll stay within the number. The Patriots will win the game, but I think they cover the number.
It's kind of funny that when we started this season, we talked about the 3 guys in the AFC, 4 guys in the AFC, Joe, Lamar, Josh, and Patrick. They got to extend Mount Rushmore a little bit because this guy, Drake May, has played himself onto that mountain as well.
I mean, already?
I think he's unbelievable. I think his deep ball is unmatched. I think the confidence that his football team has in him, it's evident, it's palpable what they have in New England. And it's rare that you have a guy at the quarterback position, and when you do, you hold on to him for dear life and you protect his ass, that you say, hey, we've got a chance to win every week. Not only that, we can blow teams out. Give me the New England Patriots. I don't care what the Falcons do to respond. And it better be with a guy not named Cousins at quarterback. And to your point, if Bijan Robinson doesn't have 18 touches, handoffs, you're doing it wrong.
By the way, you mentioned Drake May being in. Jaden Daniels, he's not playing right now, but Jaden Daniels or Drake May?
Drake May.
Wow. That flipped quickly.
Yeah, who would have thought that a year ago?
It's definite conversation. There's no
Jaden
doubt
Daniels
about
is special, but if he's banged up and
No, but I'm saying
now,
if he's healthy.
That's a big if.
But if he's healthy.
If I was healthy, I'd be the starting right guard for the Chicago Bears.
They called.
And what's the old saying about if your aunt? No, you don't even.
Yeah. No, but if he's if they were both healthy, who you picking?
Drake May.
Yeah.
You?
It's a tough one.
Look, it's all about style. I mean, like, they're both incredible quarterbacks. It's undeniable to say that what Drake May is doing isn't special. Jaden Daniels, fantastic last year. 10 one-score wins for the Commanders. It was a movie. It was a Paramount movie is what it was. Drake May, this is just real football. Every single week, he finds a way to do it.
How about Caleb Williams?
It's a work in progress.
Drake May or Jalen Hurts?
What's that?
Drake May or Jalen Hurts?
Drake May, and they're going to kill me for that, but
Who's they?
the people
Watching?
Eagles fans.
The people that point out the Super Bowl performances.
They always say.
The Super Bowl performances are great from
They're
Jalen
everywhere.
Hurts.
Look over your shoulder. They're there.
They're
there. They.
But I'm right.
You're right.
People are going to kill me for trying to. But it's real. It's just football, okay?
Right.
Like it doesn't have to be rocket science.
All right,
Get them, Eagles fans. Get them.
your best bet was Bears last week, right? Bears, what, plus 6.5 against the Ravens?
Yeah.
And
Against Lamar Jackson quarterbacked Ravens, and it wasn't that, and it wasn't that.
Well, now they've got Joe Flacco this week, and the Bears are favorites on the road. Bengals have allowed 27+ in 7 straight games. So does this one get capital L loose?
Yes.
Probably. Yeah. I didn't put it down as one of my loosey-goosey ones, though, so I can't use the phrase. But I'll say this. The Bengals defense was a disgrace last week. You let the New York Jets get 510 yards of offense. They averaged 7.2 per play. The Jets, they were terrible on offense, and that Bengals defense is awful right now. So I do think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. But I think the Bengals are going to score too. The Bears have been banged up in the secondary. Teams have, suddenly they're not as good as they were on the back end. And I think they're going to be able to hit those shots down the field to Chase and Higgins. So they'll stay in the game. I'll take the Bengals plus the points.
Here's what scares me if I'm a Bengals fan, not just the amount of points that I gave up to the New York Jets, but the way that they got the yardage that they did. They dominated the line of scrimmage, okay? And that is something that you can look at as a coach and say, regardless of what scheme they were running, we should be able to dominate the line of scrimmage as well. Chicago, the last, let's call it 5 weeks, have dominated the line of scrimmage, particularly in the run game. Didn't happen in Baltimore. I expect to see a return to that form against Cincinnati Bengals.
So we have several games with totals over 50. We also have several games with spreads in the double digits, including the Chargers, minus 10.5 against the Titans. Titans losing by an average of 15 points per game this season.
I hate laying that many points on the road. I really do. But the Titans haven't shown me anything that would give me an inclination to take them at a 10.5. I'm concerned a little bit about a letdown. The Chargers beat the daylights out of the Vikings, then they get 10 days off, and then they go out on the road against a team that is coming home. Sometimes that could be a bad combination. But this Tennessee team is awful right now. You fire the head coach, you don't get any better. The line isn't great. The quarterback's not playing well. The defense doesn't have Jeffrey Simmons, and that matters in a big way.
Huge.
And so I think this is going to be a bad look for the Titans. I think the Chargers blow them out.
Yeah, give me the Chargers, man. The Chargers proved me something last week. They still have that toughness. They still have that culture, and they've still got their quarterback, Justin Herbert. Fantastic. Give me the Chargers in this one because the Titans are just, it's a mess.
Isn't it funny how different they are when Alt's back in the line?
Huh. You think O-linemen matter, Pete?
Yes, they always matter.
It's not like running backs. You can't just pull a guy out of the checkout line at Publix and say, come play running back.
They pull running backs right off the shelf. Just pull them down. Boom.
How about Herbert, though? I mean, back-to-back games, he's thrown for 3 touchdowns.
Special.
He's been phenomenal. And you know what the best thing about him is he's running now, and he can move a little bit, but he also keeps his head up when he moves. You know, to me, that's always been the curse of the mobile quarterback at times. You run, you get out, you go 1-2, look at your reads, and get out and run. He goes 1-2, 3, and if there's pressure, gets out, but he keeps his head up. He fired a shot into the middle field while he scrambled the other day to Keenan Allen, and you say, that's it. That's what it's supposed to be. And so I think that's the biggest difference in him.
And now, if they have their tackle, he knows he's just going to run the edge defender by, but the issue they've had in L.A. is the interior part of the pocket. Since Joe All came back, the interior part of the pocket is muddy, and I'm really glad you made that point about Herbert. A lot of quarterbacks, Justin Fields is really the prime example of this, a guy with legs and a big arm, but when that rush comes, he gets out of his progression. You lose sight of the structure of the offense, and you're trying to make Superman happen. Justin Herbert can be Superman even with the pressure in his face.
One more game at 1 o'clock Eastern time on CBS, and it's the 49ers on the road against the Giants, now without Cam Scatterbo. And at this point in the week, it's Tuesday. Don't know about Brock Purdy yet. How many times have we said that? Kyle Shanahan said earlier in the week that it is not a long shot that Purdy plays. So there's a chance.
Well, they need him. You know, the whole Mac Jones story is nice. He's a nice backup. He's done some good things, but they need Brock Purdy in the lineup. They're a different team without Brock Purdy. He understands how to navigate the pocket better. I think he's a better guy at understanding the offense, and he's just a better quarterback. They need him on the field. If he's not there or if he's there, I still like the Giants in this game. I think the pass rush is going to get after whoever plays quarterback. You saw that last week. The Texans got after Mac Jones a bunch. They were really struggling on offense for most of that game. And then you flip it over. I know Scatterbo's not there, but Dart will be able to make some plays against a team that doesn't rush the passer that well. You know, you don't have Nick Bosa. You're also down Fred Warner. They don't rush the passer that well. I think Dart will be fine in this game, so I'm going to take the Giants. Back-to-back road games for the Niners, too.
We're going to find out how strong the strength of the Niners is, and that's Christian McCaffrey. And with that pass rush that you talk about, you have to think that whoever's at quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, getting the ball out on time, not taking sacks, not leading to those turnover-worthy plays, the ball's going to be going, the game will be played through Christian McCaffrey. It doesn't matter who you play against if you're the Niners. That's where the ball's going. So that's how you negate the Giants' pass rush, but I still think it's too much from New York. Give me the Giants.
You know, not having Scatterbo is big he's a big part of what they are trying to build to. But, you know, Tracy can get the job done running the football.
He's got juice.
Yeah, and so I think they'll be fine running the football, but I'm worried about the Niners in that the quarterback position right now isn't great. They need Purdy back. If he's back, it might, you know, change the outcome of the game. Nah, I still think the Giants win the game because of their pass rush.
Even if Purdy plays?
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, did you see Carl Banks call out Dexter Lawrence this week? The old Giant?
No.
You know, he does the games. He called him out.
What'd he say?
He said, you're not playing very well. Basically put it out there in a video, and then they even had to ask Brian Daboll about it.
Is that better than your owner calling you out?
I mean, guys need to be called out.
There was a Hall of Famer from the Chicago Bears, the 85 Bears team. I'm not going to name his name out of respect for him, but there was a point in my career where I was playing with a fractured vertebrae in my neck, and nobody knew it, neither did he. And he went in the media, and he saw the way that I was playing, and he said, if anybody can find Kyle Long's man card, get it to him.
Oh, boy.
You know, these guys,
but
they don't know what we're going through,
Okay,
Pete.
but now I'm going to prove
I don't know what Joe Tooney's going through.
Okay, but here's my point. You talk about keeping it all in-house. They kept your injured vertebrae in there, and it made you look bad.
Yeah, well, that's part of the job, bro.
Nah.
See, I like that you want to protect the players.
If you're hurt,
You're a good guy.
If you're hurt, I remember I chased a guy around one day in a locker room. I said,
I know you're hurt.
your leg. He goes, what's wrong with your leg? He goes, I can't talk about my leg. I go, why not? He goes, because Coughlin will find me. I said, well, it's your leg, you know.
It's actually property of the New York Giants.
Hardy Nickerson. He ran from me.
Oh, boy. Pete Prisco, Kyle Long, picking
Story
every
time.
game against the spread each and every week here on CBS Sports HQ. Thanks for following along. The NFL Today crew going to be on the road this week in Buffalo for Chiefs, Bills. We still have that game to pick. A couple of weeks, they'll be on the road in Denver as the Chiefs take on the Broncos, who right now sit in first place. And here they are, Broncos getting ready to play the Houston Texans in a matchup between maybe the two best defenses in the league. A total, real, not loose. All right, we got some other 1 o'clock games to pick, including one with a huge spread. Packers minus 12.5 against the Carolina Panthers. Really good one in Houston. Texans playing much better. Broncos have won 5 straight. Let's pick it between two of the best defenses in football. This spread flipped. It was Broncos minus 1.5. It is now Texans minus 1.5, Peter.
Well, I think that's because of the way the Texans played last week. You know, the question about them has been their offense. And the offense came alive without Nico Collins. And the best thing that happened, they didn't give up any sacks. You know, we talk about the offensive line. The offensive line's been a disaster for the last couple of years for the Texans, and C.J. Stroud hasn't played very well. Well, he played really well last week. And this week, he gets a Denver defense that doesn't have Patrick Surtain. And he's their, clearly their best defensive player and the defensive player of the year. Him not being there will impact the way they play. I think the Texans got the offense cranked up. I think that'll get some rhythm to it. Woody Marks is a runner, and they got to start giving him the ball more. And I think he becomes more of a factor. I will take the Texans and their defense against the Broncos offense rather than the Broncos defense against.
Now I'm confused.
No, I would take their offense against the Broncos defense rather than the other way around, because I don't believe in Bo Nix. Look, Bo Nix has been great. Don't get me wrong. Bo Nix has been great. Go on the road and beat this defense, then I'll start thinking that there's not any chance of a sophomore slump.
So their offense had me confused for a bit, the Denver Broncos, right? Like, it wasn't, there was something not right with it.
Bad.
It was bad. I mean, Bo Nix has looked good at times. And then the last couple of weeks, Bo Nix and that offense has looked like what I anticipated seeing. Some explosive plays, obviously taking care of the line of scrimmage in the run game. They've got a good group there, but being able to throw the ball is huge. If you love defense, though, this is why you watch this game. Okay, the Broncos pass rush, they're on pace to
85 Bears.
They're going to outpace the 85 Bears.
I wish they would please quit using that.
Why is that?
Because they're not even in the same zip code. That was one of the great pass rushes.
Yeah, there's Chicago, and then there's Denver. Look, football's football, and production is production. And this Denver Broncos front does such a great job of having so many guys that can win one-on-ones. That's what makes him special. And the confidence that we saw from C.J. Stroud, this newfound confidence, Stella got her groove back, as it were, and they did it as an offense. And to pair with that defense is scary. But if you're Vance Joseph, also knowing that PS2's out, you have to light C.J. Stroud up early and often. And that's what I expect from this Denver defense. They understand the onus is on them, because if C.J. gets hot and that offense gets hot, then you got to play against that two-headed monster, the rushman from the Texans. Give me the Broncos. I think this is a Sean Payton spot and a Vance Joseph spot, and they roll.
They're great on defense. They're fun to watch. They're great pass rush. But please, the 85 Bears front seven had Hall of Famers on it. They had Richard Dent. They had Mike Singletary. They had Steve McMichael. I mean, they had Hall of Famers.
Did you see? Throw up that
Hampton.
sack differential note that we had a little bit earlier. And you can go back even further than 85 to see that no one's done something like this when you factor in both offensive sacks and defensive sacks. They're plus 28 in sacks.
1969 Rams, was that the
Deacon
fearsome
Jones.
Foursome?
Yeah.
Merlin Olsen?
Yeah, that's exactly. So they're Hall of Famers. Do you see any Hall of Famers on the Broncos?
I see the biggest number being 28 from the Denver damn Broncos from the 2025 season, Pete.
Yeah, they're not. They're good. They're really good. Don't get me wrong. But we rush these historical comparisons all the time.
Well, we're just comparing numbers.
It's just human, Pete.
Come on.
Well, I got to bring a little levity to the rush.
What are we paying our research team to do if not for this?
Oh, the numbers are great, but you got to look at them in
They can beat
context.
you at the defensive tackle spot. They can beat you at the defensive end spot. If they're not winning there, Vance Joseph's going to find a way to bring guys.
What do they say? Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, numbers
they
never
lie. They lie.
Yeah,
They're lying.
You can tweak them a little bit. Let's go to Vikings-Lions. Carson Wentz out for the season. J.J. McCarthy in line to start at this point for the first time since week 2. We don't know for sure, but he's.
Well, Carson Wentz isn't starting.
The hope is that it's J.J. McCarthy. If it's not, it's Max Brosmer, the rookie out of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's the Lions -8. Okay?
No matter who plays quarter. If J.J. McCarthy,
that's it.
I'm with you, though. I'm on the Lions.
They've won 4 straight home games by 15
And they're
plus.
at home.
Yeah, and they're a different team when they're at home. And that offense just starts lighting people up, and they're hard to stop. You know, when you look at how Jared Goff plays at home, he's much better. He's good on the road, but he's great at home. And it'll be interesting to see what Flores throws at him. But the Vikings defense, the last time out against Justin Herbert was terrible. Well, they're not great on the back end. And so that's a problem. Their corners aren't great. And so I think they got attacked there a little bit. So I think that Goff is going to be able to turn, play action, hit those shots down the field. Look, McCarthy's going to face, the Lions are banged up. McCarthy's going to face a real challenge on that, getting this offense going. He's just getting right back in there. It wasn't like he was throwing for 300 yards a game when he was in there.
No.
So it's going to be a little bit of timing, getting him back into the groove. I think the Lions blow
And the
him out.
fastball in Detroit is very fast, okay? When you're playing a good Detroit team, the speed of the game, the environment, it's very real. There's a handful of places in the National Football League you go to and say, oh yeah, that's a real home field advantage for them. Detroit is definitely one of them.
Pete, what do you need to see out of J.J. McCarthy for him over the last half of this season to show that he's the quarterback of the future for Minnesota?
Well, they clearly think he's the quarterback of the future. They got Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold. So they clearly think he's the quarterback of the future. He's got to be able to stand in the pocket and make the throws. And he's a good athlete, and he can get outside the pocket. He can create with his legs. I want to see him stand in there and go through your progressions. If you get to 1, 2, he's not going to get to 4 or 5, but if you get to 1, 2, 3 before getting out, that's progress. And if he's making throws down the field, if he's running around doing things that, leaving clean pockets, then I think you got a concern. And what we saw when he won the game, that was nice. The fourth quarter was nice, but when you really looked at it, it wasn't great quarterbacking. It was more of him being schemed up and doing some good things. He did make that great shot.
Was that the first Monday Night Football game?
Yeah, he made the great shot to the middle of the field.
Seems like a year ago.
Right, it was a year ago.
Yeah.
It was like 9 weeks ago.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And so I want to see him become a quarterback. If he becomes a quarterback, then they think they have their guy. But why did they take so long to put him back in there, though? They had a quarterback in
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
They had a quarterback in Carson Wentz who was playing on a bum shoulder for 2 weeks. Why didn't you put him back in?
Doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't.
Getting called out in the broadcast.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. For throwing his helmet.
All right.
Could barely lift his arm to throw his helmet.
Mentioned some big spreads this week. Packers minus 12.5 against the Panthers. At this point in the week, it looks like Bryce Young, they expect him to be able to be back and play in this game. I'm guessing you're going to say it doesn't matter, Pete?
Not in this game, it doesn't matter. But I will say, anybody who thought that Andy Dalton was still capable of being a starting NFL quarterback in this league for somebody, they might have, that last week, put that tape on, you'll see different. And Andy Dalton had some moments in
What'd
his
you call
career.
him? The Red?
His name is the
Red
Red
Rocket?
Rifle.
Yeah.
And
Red Rocket?
I have accidentally called him the Red Rocket a couple times, which is also exciting.
Well, you might call him the red water pistol after last week because he wasn't very good. And he turned the ball over, and getting Bryce Young back is important. But the biggest problem for them, one of the biggest problems for them last week was their offensive line. They lost guys. And I don't know the health of some of those. Christensen got hurt, he's down, but they lost 3 guys in that game, and their whole identity is to run the football. You did see he's settling on Rico Dowdle as the running back, so he's going to get the majority of the carries.
That kind of worked itself out.
The only hope they have here is if the Packers come off that game feeling pretty good about themselves and they kind of go through the motions early in the game and they end up and they look up. Teams do that. They look up and they're in a ball game, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Packers are starting to feel themselves in a good way, and Jordan Love is starting to feel himself in a good way.
So I don't think that the Packers are at risk of the letdown game, because early in the season we saw this Packers team play so well, and they look like such a complete roster that guys like us are sitting at the desk saying, well, that's the best team in the league right there. Boom, boom, boom. And then they drop a tough one. They're in a ball game with Cleveland at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
I try to forget.
They lost
to Cleveland.
I try to forget 2+ weeks ago in the NFL because it's such a new league every single week, which leads me to my point that
Spoken like a player, by the way.
This is not a letdown week for the Packers. This is a let's go kick their ass and handle business, and that's why I've got them.
I tend to agree with
I've got them covering.
I tend to agree with you.
Are the best 2 teams in the NFC right now in that division? Packers, Lions?
Yes.
You put the Eagles in that conversation too.
After seeing 6 offensive linemen on the field for the Eagles, which is like, thank God. Okay, I think they're in that conversation too. It might be 1A, B, and C.
Again, though, I don't think you've seen the best of the Packers yet.
Nope.
That's to come.
Bucks?
Bucks are in the conversation.
Bucks are banged up, dude.
But healthy when they get guys back. They're on a bye week. They get guys back. They navigate through. They've navigated 6-2 through the tough schedule with a bunch of injuries.
Lions trying to get to 6-2 this week. The Packers looking to keep that 1 in the loss column against the Panthers. All right, recapping the picks at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Pete thinks that Colts-Steelers game is going to get lit.
Oh, yeah.
50.5 over. Colts -3 is the play from both. They like the Chargers, -10.5 against the Titans, who Pete has last in his power rankings this week. Both like the Giants, +2.5 against the 49ers. On the Lions, -8.5 against the Vikes, and the Packers minus that big 12.5 number against the Panthers, no matter if Bryce Young plays or not, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Right, ain't like he's John Elway in his prime.
All right, coming up, we've got Patrick Mahomes against Josh Allen for the 10th time. We'll pick it on the other side.
The Chiefs are back-to-back AFC champions. It is caught by Kelsey, and the Chiefs have won in overtime. And the kick is no good! Kansas City is going to the AFC Championship. He throws it up for grabs, and the pass is incomplete. The Chiefs win the AFC Championship.
Every time I go up against Josh, I know that it's going to come down to the end, just because of the competitor that he is and the player that he is.
The strike into the end zone, Gabriel Davis, touchdown Buffalo. I'm going to do anything and everything that I can do to help this team win the football game.
This is this generation's big boy quarterback matchup.
Hopefully we're making those memories for other little kids that are growing up watching football.
Touchdown!
They asked for it, and they got what they asked for.
Wanted a heavyweight fight? You got it today.
Same thing every week. Start humble, hungry, putting in the work, and then you come out here with the damn attitude.
Now taking off, gonna run for it, he got it, and there he goes, inside the 10, the 5, oh, the play of the year in the NFL.
Here they go again, the best rivalry of this time.
For the 10th time, it is Mahomes against Allen, 4:25 Eastern on CBS. The NFL Today is going to be on site for that one. Let's pick it, along with the two other 4 p.m. Eastern time or thereabout games on Sunday. How do you explain the fact that Mahomes is 4-0 in the playoffs against Josh Allen, but Allen is 4-1 in the regular season?
Mr. Clutch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way you can explain that.
Yeah, how did MJ win all those games?
I mean, that's what he is. That's who he is. And you know what I always say about this game, Chris? Inject it right into my veins. Every bit of it. Are you kidding me? I love this.
Is this your favorite matchup in the NFL?
Allen and Mahomes.
This is it.
You know, back in the day when they came out, I was one of the few guys that actually believed in both of them.
Wow.
I love this, and I can watch him over and over and over again. Regular season, playoffs, give it right here, every bit of it. And you know what? This is going to be a classic. It's a little bit different because the Bills right now are a little bit different than what they've been. They aren't putting up big numbers in the passing game. They haven't asked Allen to do that. They don't have the speed outside yet to really be able to do that. So they've run the ball. They've been physical. Their offensive line, you love their offensive line. They've been physical. They get after it. You saw Cook run for over 200 last week. I think that's what they want to do. But in this game, they're going to have to evolve because I don't think the Chiefs are going to let them just line up and run the football. We're going to have to see vintage Allen in this game, and I think we will. Look, the other side, Mahomes, the game manager, remember that, all that talk? The game manager?
What'd you call him?
The game manager. He was the Mahomes. I didn't call him that. You know who called him that? You know who called him that? The guy who was in that seat a little while
Don't
ago.
point at me.
Yeah, Leger called him the game
Leger.
manager. He's no longer a game manager. He has speed again. He can throw the ball all over the place. The speed is so apparent, it actually opened up the old man tight end on Monday night.
Oh.
So all of a sudden, they're starting to be the Chiefs and Mahomes again. This is going to be a classic up and down the field. You're going to see a lot of points. I love Buffalo in this spot because I think they're the better team at home. If they, you know, you're talking about a team coming off a short week too, going out on the road for a big game. I'm going to take the Bills.
The key to Buffalo for winning this football game is establishing dominance on the ground, because if you can force that defense to stay on the field through sustained drives and finish with touchdowns in the red area with their superhuman Josh Allen, that's the formula. That's the recipe for success. Obviously, you know the Kansas City Chiefs are going to score. I don't care if they're playing in the Walmart parking lot. The offense is going to show up in a big way. You have to stress the Kansas City Chiefs, and I give them a ton of credit for the way they've bowed up defensively. But take a look at James Cook and the things that he's been able to do in that Aaron Kromer-led offense. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, that's a good list to be on right there, buddy. O.J. Simpson was a pretty good football player.
Great.
James Cook is special, but the great thing about Buffalo is they got Josh Allen. But I am going to be picking the Kansas City Chiefs in this game for the conversation that we had earlier about what makes Patrick special. And it's like, what makes water wet? What made MJ great? I can't explain it, but just watch.
My one concern right now with the Chiefs, and I think you might agree with me on this, is that the pass rush hasn't been as good.
No.
And
sack numbers down.
Right. They have to get that going, or else if it does get into one of those games where Allen's being Allen, you're going to have problems, because you got to get him pressured and get him outside the pocket.
If they run the football and force Spags to load that box and get the numbers up inside, it's going to free up Josh Allen for that big play action down the field game. And that's where it gets really
interesting. You better be able to get him on the ground.
Yeah.
If you can't get him on the ground, it's going to be a problem. And I think that's been the biggest issue. Now, the Bills are without Ed Oliver, and that's a loss. But they got Larry Ogunjobi came back along with Hoyt, who had a sack and a half last week. They had 7 sacks last week.
This is the conversation you and I were having week one, because week one Bills was not the same Bills defense that we see now. So
and Hairston is playing again, the rookie first-round pick at the corner.
He was out too.
And Tre'Davious White is too slow to play now. He was a great player in his day, but he's too slow. They need to get Hairston on the field. I think he gets more and more snaps. I love look, it's going to be a great game up and down the field, but I'm going to take the Bills. Inject every bit of it right there. All of it. Every bit of it.
Both arms. Pete Prisco and Kyle Long ready for the big one on CBS. NFL Today, again, is going to be there for pre and post of that one. Also in the 4 o'clock window, Jags at Raiders. Both teams coming off a bye week, struggling before the bye week, but the Raiders are expected to get back Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers.
Which, particularly Brock Bowers, he's badly needed. Jacoby Myers might be auditioning for another team. That's what he might be doing. Maybe even the one across the field, by the way. They need a receiver. I think Jacksonville had problems at their passing game in the couple of weeks leading into the bye week. And there was inconsistency there. Brian Thomas hadn't been that guy. They've sat him down, I've heard, and talked with him, and I think he's going to be ready to play much better, different football than what he's been playing. They're going to get Travis Hunter way more involved. There's now
offensively?
There's now a new number 1 wide receiver in Jacksonville, and it's Travis Hunter. He is their guy. They will get him the ball. They will use him a variety of different ways. They'll get him down the field. You saw that against the Rams late in that game. Lawrence hit him. And I think the Raiders defense is middle of the pack. If you can control Crosby, and that's the biggest thing, obviously, then you can win against them down the field.
Try to slow him down a little bit.
And Geno Smith has not played very well.
No.
I know getting Bowers back is big for them, but I think Jacksonville goes out there and wins this game and kind of gets back on track.
There are player-only meetings that we've talked about, and it's never a good thing to be involved in. But there's also the come-to-Jesus meetings that you have in these buildings, and it's a private meeting, okay? It's like, why don't you come see me in my office? Yeah, shut the door, take a seat. Maybe they had one of those with BTJ, and maybe we see him, a different version of him, because what we saw last year was a bona fide stud at the receiver position. They need that. Couple that with your guy Hunter, that could be a scary offense. Give me the Jags.
I think this is the week where he actually plays almost all the snaps on both sides of the ball.
Wow. Jeez.
He's their best corner. He's their best receiver. You got to play him.
All right. Well, Pete Carroll, 0-4 straight up and against the spread, coming off of a bye since 2020. Odd stat, but you guys think it's going to be 0-5, 0-5. Saints-Rams, largest spread of the week. It's the Tyler Shuck era, beginning at least for a few weeks here to the end of the season for the Saints. They're going to start him instead of Spencer Rattler.
Well, it might be longer. What if he plays really well?
Could be.
Then they have their guy, and then they don't have to worry about it. He's not going to play well here. This is a tough ask of a guy to go on the road against that Rams front.
Oh, boy.
And go play quarterback on the road. That's tough to do. For your first NFL start, it's almost like good luck, buddy. But I think this is going to be one of those games where the Rams, coming off a bye, I think they're going to get their offense cranked up again, and the defense is just going to be too much for Tyler Shuck.
You take somebody skiing for the first time, you put him on the bunny slope. Okay, the potato patch. You let them go at about this angle. They're going very slowly. You don't just jump onto the black diamonds. You don't jump onto the green ones. Those can be sketchy too.
What about skiing down Mount Kilimanjaro or whatever? I saw somebody doing that the other day.
That would be
it was
sketchy.
the first time. They have a documentary out on it.
I always wonder how they get up. Helicopters?
No, they climb.
Look, the point being is this. Tyler Shuck is going onto a black diamond. Not only is he contending with trying to keep pace with that Rams offense, which you know can be just diabolically good at times, but those rush men for the Rams, they smell blood in the water. There's a young quarterback. Give me the Rams in this one.
So is he flipping over?
We might have to pull our buddy out of the trees here a little bit.
He's going to be in the side of his
little feet sticking out.
He's going to be in the side of a snowbank.
Look at Matthew Stafford on the other side this season. I mean, he's got to be in the MVP discussion.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
Dark
There's no
horse.
question about that. He's played great football. And last time out, he didn't even have Puka Nacua, and it didn't matter against Jacksonville. He threw 5 touchdown passes and a bunch of guys that normally don't catch passes. And so that's the greatness of Matthew Stafford. He can throw it all over the place.
What does he need to do here in the last part of his career? Hey, maybe this is it to earn your vote for the Hall of Fame.
Keep doing what he's doing. He's on his way.
Yeah.
You know, for a while there, I was a little apprehensive about it. Mm-hmm. Because there are guys, I mean, Matt Ryan won an MVP, went to a Super Bowl, didn't win one, and he's in the same conversation. But I think Matthew Stafford, if he were, God forbid, if he went and won another one, he's a lock for the Hall of Fame.
And I think you have to weigh into the equation how many years he spent in Detroit when Detroit was not the Dan Campbell-led Lions, and what he had to battle against every year.
Boy, but he could still fire those shots down the field. I mean, there's not one bit of anything off velocity off his fastball.
If you're must-see TV, if you're must-see football, give him the gold jacket. And he's a guy that you can't.
Oh, I think he's on his way to
He's a guy that you can't take your eyes off of.
They're off to their best start, the Rams are, since they won the Super Bowl 4 seasons ago. Recapping the late afternoon picks, including that Kansas City-Buffalo game that the guys are on.
Loose, too, by the way.
Both sides up. Real loose, huh?
Yeah.
52.5.
Hey, make mine loose, Jack.
Yeah.
We're going
a little loose meat sandwich over here.
Come on, let's go.
Loose meat sandwich. Loose.
Also like the Jags -3 and the Rams -13.5 against the Saints. Up next, we're picking Sunday night football. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks looking for their 10th straight
JSN MVP.
Oh, they're in Washington against the Commanders.
Washington,
D.C. I had a quiz for Pete Prisco.
I love it.
Do you know the longest road winning streak in NFL history?
No.
What would you guess it would be?
The number?
Yeah.
Oh. 12.
It's 18.
Is it?
Done in your lifetime by the San Francisco 49ers of the late 80s, early 90s. 88 to 90, they won 18 straight. Seahawks with a chance to get into the top 10 all time with their 10th straight road win. They're favorites against the Commanders.
It's amazing that they've actually played better on the road
Crazy.
under Mike McDonald than they have. Dare I compare him to Mike McDaniel, but Mike McDonald better on the road than they've played at home, which is incredible to think about that. Usually, if you're winning on the road, you're usually a good team and you're winning at home, and they haven't been as good at home under him. This is a tough spot for them. They're coming off a bye, but Washington they played Monday night and didn't play well, at least in the second half. But I think this is a great spot for Washington to kind of get back on track a little bit. I think when you look at them, who's the quarterback going to be? We don't know that yet.
So why are you confident in him?
Because I think even if it's Mariota, I think
Because Mariota's good.
He came all the way around.
He wasn't good on Monday night.
Neither was Debo when he dropped it when they were rolling down the field. Marcus Mariota looked great to me.
He wasn't good on Monday night. Come on.
We can agree to disagree. Nobody looks good across from Patrick Mahomes.
No, Mariota wasn't good on Monday night.
So
he was just okay.
He was good enough.
But whoever plays quarterback here, I think they will be good enough, and I'm going to take the Commanders.
I'm taking the Seahawks because they're a better team, and because they got that road win streak going.
Yay!
And because I have bad experiences in Washington. And I love the Seahawks team. They play the hell out of some defense. Sam Darnold's awesome. Jackson Smith and Jigba should be a dark horse Heisman MVP candidate. You know what I'm saying? He should be at the NFL honors when they give that thing out. He's been playing fantastic.
He's not even the MVP on his own team.
The joke is that we've named like 6 guys on the MVP. And we put 2 guys in the Hall of Fame. So, look, Seahawks have the formula. just continue to play ball. You had a bye week, you rest up, you go be the most physical team on the field. It's Sunday at 8:20 Eastern. That's all it comes down to, man. Doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. Go out there, beat them up. Seahawks.
By the way, Toast Lattimore actually played better football on Monday night.
Toast.
He did for the Commanders.
We were talking about the best teams in the NFC, and we mentioned everybody with 2 losses, I feel like, except for the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see. They had a chance.
They're right where they want to be.
Their defense is nasty. They're really nasty. They can get after the quarterback, and so that'll be a challenge for whoever plays quarterback.
All right, that's Sunday Night Football, and during this game, you can watch Pete.
Wow.
Look at him.
Well, it depends. Some weeks you can, some weeks you can't.
What do you mean?
Go on.
You rang.
Brian Kelly just got fired again.
Yeah, he was preempted by the Brian Kelly breaking news last week and wasn't too happy about it. I doubt there'll be something like that this week, though. Nobody's going to get fired.
He likes his TV
They
talk.
fire a guy every Tuesday in college, Sunday in college football.
Coming up next, Monday Night Football, Cowboys and Cards, both going bad directions, facing off in Big D. All my Rodney friends are coming over tonight. Cardinals and Cowboys, Monday Night Football. Hey, Kyler and Dak, some good quarterbacks, but how about the game? Cardinals have lost 5 straight. That's the longest losing streak in the league. Last 5 Cowboys games have averaged 66 points combined, Pete. The total is loose. It's 53.5. Is it going over that?
Oh, yeah, I got to lose. You're playing against air when you play that Cowboys defense. It's a 7-on-7 game.
On air.
I mean, who could? I mean, come on. Kyler Murray comes back. He's even going to put up big numbers, and he hadn't played that well, so he's got to put up big numbers. But look, the thing about the Cowboys is I don't think we saw them play very well on offense last week, and that was concerning to me. I think they bounced back on offense. I think they get the passing game cranked up. This is going to be a high-scoring game, like I said, but I think that in the end, they're the much better offense, and I think that'll show here, even though their defense right now is just awful.
Cardinals have been a real letdown. And preseason, they were one of those teams that I had circled. It's like they could sneak up on some people.
They lost a lot of close games, though. They play well every week.
But, I mean, you know what? There's a lot of teams that have lost close games that have a 1 to begin their record or something like that. And the Cardinals are one of those teams. Give me the Cowboys. To your point, I think the offense shows out. Dak Prescott is phenomenal. I expect him to return to form this week.
They have to learn how to win, the Cardinals, and they haven't learned how to win yet. That's a problem.
Have you given up hope on the Cowboys as a potential playoff team? You were talking about it a couple weeks ago.
I thought, look, they've had they weren't great to begin with in the secondary, and now they've had so many injuries back there that it's hard to play.
And the Eagles are back.
And it's hard to play. Yeah, it's hard to play in the secondary when you don't have guys that are regular starters. I mean, they got guys that are picked up off the scrap heap.
But now the Giants are injured.
Right,
completely.
and the Commanders aren't playing great
Commanders
football.
ain't doing it. They're going to lose again this week.
The problem is, in the other divisions have 2 or 3 teams that might be wild card teams. I don't think the Cowboys can win the division.
Yeah.
All right, that's our Monday Night Football game this week. The Cowboys hosting the Cardinals, and it's getting lit.
Big time. It'll be 9-7 late in the third quarter.
100%.
This might be a record, Pete. I think you're going 3 overs this week.
Yeah, it's loose.
Pete, anytime a game is in the 50s, Pete's going to go over that. Anytime. Clockwork. Ravens -7.5, they agree on. Also agree on the Cowboys -3.
Chris, I usually pick those games before I look at the lines.
Oh, yeah? Okay. All right.
So they follow my lead.
Well, Pete hinted that one of his best bets might be an over this week. Is somebody picking the Bears? Oh, no. The producers have some kind of parlay going.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
Best bet records. Pete Prisco now the only one over 500. I'm sitting there at 4-4. Kyle 3-5.
Within striking distance.
Producers. This week takes the cake for the producer pick.
It's terrible.
We'll get to that
it's a
in just
lie.
a
Is
second.
what it is. Too.
All right.
I figured it out.
Let me start because we just picked this game. Seahawks -3.5 against the Commanders. Let's go, Kyle.
That's big.
That's your pick?
That's my pick.
That's your
Easy
pick?
money.
Seahawks -3.5. They're going to win their 10th straight road game. They're going to cover the 3.5.
Moto.
Even though Jaden Daniels might be on
That's
his
a
way back
moto
to play.
pick.
Pete, you getting loose?
You know what the moto pick
What
is?
is
What's
a
that?
moto pick?
Master of the obvious.
Why is it the master of the obvious
It's the
pick?
best bet. It's okay. Don't listen to him. Don't be affected by him.
Pete, what is your pick?
Yeah. Don't let him in back. Tell him to shut up. Just make your pick.
I did. What's your pick?
Yeah.
I'm getting loose. I have the Colts Steelers going over.
That's fantastic.
Wait, you have what?
Colts Steelers going over.
Colts Steelers over. What's that number? 50.5. You good with that?
Yep.
50.5. Okay.
Yep.
I'm
Kyle?
proud to be an American where at least I know I'm free and I can cheer for Drake May every weekend. Give me the New England Patriots.
Wow.
That's
And I'm on the other side of your best bet. I like it even more.
patriotic, dude.
I like it
Okay.
even more.
Now to
Eagle
the-
screech, eagle screech, eagle screech.
Maybe the most controversial pick in
I can't
NFL
figure.
picks
I can't
history
figure this out.
from the producers.
Yeah.
So they are going Bears money line, okay, against the Bengals.
Which is what? What are the odds on Bears money line?
Well, they're minus 2.5.
But so
spread,
it's like minus 145 or something.
Yeah, here's the slip, minus 142.
Wow, the slip.
And they're going Raiders alt line. They're taking that all the way up to plus 14.5 against the Jags.
Jeez.
Okay, but they're trying to say that it equals out to be minus 105.
Yeah.
How
there? See, Pete?
How could it possibly be?
Because it's being parlayed. So when
the
you
parlay
them
gives you
together-
extra. It's like exponentially.
Yeah, I know, I get that, but minus 670 and minus.
If this hits, are you going to allow it?
Alt lines? When did we start getting that creative?
Well, they've been doing
I'll
crazy
allow it.
stuff all season.
I'll allow this.
Let you be the judge and jury.
Anybody who is willing to go Bears money line as a part of their parlay deserves it.
Why? You're a Packers fan.
I'm just saying.
The alt money line is good as gold, by the way.
14.5 against the Jags. Okay, here are
That's
the,
my best bet, by the way. Minus 670 is the Raiders on the alt money line.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks money line against the Commanders too. That's my best bet. Kyle, why don't you take the money line on the Patriots?
There you go.
And we'll sweep this week of picks. All right, and that was NFL picks for Week 9. We're halfway through the season now. Unbelievable. We're thereabouts.
Flying by.
Crazy. For Pete and Kyle, I'm Chris. Good luck.